is officially winter, and our winter season begins with living in alignment and actually setting goals that go with the seasons. Welcome back to Seasons with You, where I am trying to live more intentionally, and I'm hoping that you will come along this journey with me. We've done our 2 videos at the end of autumn, and we had our reflection season, and we looked at taking stock of the things in our lives and setting small goals to kind of go along with that. My mental health score was really, really low. So I've set a couple of things that have helped me. Like one was listening to a confidence meditation every night before I go to sleep and doing yoga for 5 minutes every day. I've continued that, and honestly, my mental health has dramatically improved. So even just doing that exercise, definitely go back and watch the 2 autumn videos from November if you haven't, because it's really helped me out. So if it's helped me out, it's definitely going to help someone else out. But we are officially in winter now, and our theme for this entire next sort of 12, 13 weeks is all about rest and manifestation. Now, we all still have lives. We have mortgages to pay. We have kids to feed and, work to do and everything. So it's not about just, resting and doing absolutely nothing, but it is about going with the fact that we have these shorter days. Nature is dying. Nature is casually dying and getting ready to have a rest to come back in the spring. So why don't we kind of go with that season? And I wanted to give you 3 things today that you can focus on for the rest of the season that can kind of make you feel like you're going with nature. So number 1, go to bed earlier. Now, I know that sounds really silly, but maybe that's not something you've ever even really thought about. If you're going to bed 10, half 10, 11, half 11, I don't know, and you're feeling tired, you're not getting enough sleep, maybe you're sitting up watching Netflix and you're just watching absolute rubbish and watching true crime documentaries, as we all love, but then you're wondering why you're more irritable, you're not feeling so great. Why not take this winter season to go to bed earlier? Because it's getting darker at half 3, 4 o'clock. So why not give yourself this gift where you go to bed at 9:45 or 9:30 for the whole of winter? And you just say to yourself, obviously if you've got like a party or something like that, but just say to yourself, I'm going to get into bed at 9:30. I'm going to brush my teeth. I'm going to do a nice skincare regime. I'm going to get a book, get snugly into bed. So you can start looking at falling asleep by 10, 10:15. If that's the time you go to bed already, maybe you want to make that even earlier. So you can really give yourself as much sleep as possible to make yourself feel better when you wake up. As we know, waking up in the dark is not fun. It's really hard to get your body clock. Okay, we know that 8 hours is a good amount of sleep, but we want more because we're waking up in the dark. But if you go to bed earlier and you set yourself that beautiful intention of, you know what, this winter, I'm going to give myself more rest. I'm going to give myself more sleep. And as we know, sleep gives us rejuvenation. It helps us think better the next day. We have more energy. So I just think having that intention of being able to slow down by going to bed earlier, I think is going to really, really help you for winter. I'm going to be doing exactly the same thing. And I'm going to be digging into novels. I've got so many novels that I haven't read, on that bookshelf over there at the top, that I haven't dug into. And I think going to getting into bed at 9:30 with the intention of maybe falling asleep at 10. I sort of go to bed maybe 10, half 10, sometimes 11. And that's definitely going to be one of the intentions that I set for winter. Number 2, have 3 days that you choose, the same 3 days for the whole of winter. Now, I know this seems a lot, but it's not. You pick 3 days, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for example, and you do 5 minutes minimum exercise on those days. It could be yoga, it could be Joe Wicks HIIT, it could be yoga with Cassandra, it could be, did I just say yoga? Sorry. It could be something with dumbbells, it could be Pilates, anything. As you know, you can go on YouTube and find pretty much any exercise that you need. The reason I'm asking you to do this and why I think it's going to really help is because winter is notoriously a time where we might drink a bit more mulled wine, we might eat a bit more, obviously the Christmas season. There's nothing really to do. You don't want to go outside loads, so you stay in, you eat, you drink. And everyone talks about this kind of holiday season and maybe putting on a bit of weight, and that's absolutely fine. But if you balance that out with just 5 minutes of exercise 3 times a week, you're going to give yourself that gift of, yes, you know what, I can stick to something. Now, just by doing 5 minutes, it's such a small amount of time. Sometimes it takes the kettle that long to boil. You could even boil the kettle and go and do the exercise whilst you're waiting for the kettle to boil. It's just something that you will feel like when you come out of the winter period come March, you will think, wow, I still exercise 3 times a week. And it makes you feel less guilty about all the chocolate and all the rubbish that you eat over the Christmas period. I'm definitely going to do it. I mean, I do this anyway because I was training for the half marathon. So I was running every Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday anyway. And I was doing strength exercises on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So I got really into exercise anyway, and it's massively helped my mental health. So I do this anyway. But if you don't do any exercise at all, I know it seems counterintuitive to start doing exercise in winter, but actually that's the best time to do it because it's the hardest time to do it. But if you're only giving yourself 5 minutes on those 3 days, you might start going, well, 5 minutes wasn't really enough. I might do 10 minutes on those 3 days. And before you know it, rather than being like, it's January 1st and I'm going to set my goals, etc., you're already doing it. It's part of your routine. And I think if you start this now, and then every single winter you do it and you set yourself that goal, because you might fall off the wagon, right? Like come June, weather's nice, you might like fall off the exercise. But if every winter you set this intention, you know what? I'm going to exercise 3 times a week. Winter just feels a bit more in control and you're not just letting the darkness and letting all the food and the hibernation just completely drown you and get rid of all your energy. The exercise can help bring that energy up, especially mixed with point 1, where you're going to bed earlier as well. So the two of them together, brilliant. Number 3, get outside every single day for a walk, if that's possible. Obviously, I don't know your situation, but if there is a way for you to get outside, even when the weather is rubbish. I know this sounds ridiculous, especially coming from me because I'm a summer person. Summer is my absolute favorite season. I don't like the cold, I don't like the dark, I don't like the rain, I don't like the wind. But being signed off work, I was signed off work for 4 weeks and I was away from work for 6 weeks because I was ill before that and lots of other different things happened. But I made sure I got out for a walk, minimum an hour, but obviously not everyone's able to do that. But that's only because I was signed off and I didn't have anything to do and I was so depressed. But I knew that going out in nature was good. And I heard this the other day. When you're going for a walk in nature, bushes, trees, forests, they're not asking anything of you. They're just there and you're adopting that really calm, serene feeling. Now, with winter, because it's dark all the time, obviously, depending on your job, you might just eat your lunch at your desk. Have this intention that you're going to go for just a 10-minute walk around the block, even when the weather's horrible. Put on the correct clothes because getting out and getting that fresh air is going to help you with energy and just feeling like you've had a bit of time outside, because otherwise being inside, it's not natural light. Like, we are part of nature. So let's go with nature. Let's be with nature. And I would fully recommend it. It massively helped me when I was signed off. And I'm going to have this intention. Obviously, I'm back at work now and I want to make sure that I don't just spend the entire day inside my classroom. Obviously, I get break time duties as well. So it forces me outside, which is great. Like, even when the weather's horrible and I'm like, oh, I want to go inside, that fresh air hitting your face is still really good for you. So I hope that helps. This is our first winter video and this is the first Sunday in December of 2025. I'm feeling much better after having been signed off. I'm just doing 4 mornings at the moment until the end of term, and that feels really good for me at the moment. If you're enjoying this so far, please subscribe, please like, please comment, please ask questions. If you're struggling with the exercises that I did in November where you had to take stock of your life and what small goals you want to set for yourself for the winter period, please do just drop a comment. I'm absolutely here to help and I love talking about this stuff. Okay, great. I will see you next week for our second winter video and look at how we can look at the rest of the season incorporating rest and manifestation.